Welcome to the Fox 4 Sports Lair. Edward Egros here, and the Alabama Crimson Tide, as you can see by my stuffed animal, well, they lost Monday night, and so that's why they're a little lifeless there, but it's a stuffed animal, it's always lifeless. Hey, so Deshaun Watson, Clemson quarterback, one of the few guys, maybe ever, who can boast that he performed very, very well against Nick Saban, not once but twice, and on the biggest stage when Alabama is absolutely clicking and they're in the national championship game looking about as dynastic as any team has ever looked in the history of college football. But Deshaun Watson pulled it off. And why does that matter in terms of local ties? Well, Chad Morris, SMU head coach, he recruited Deshaun Watson to Clemson and had his fingerprints all over this offense leading up to this championship game. Yes, Chad Morris has been at SMU for the last couple years, entering his third year now, but make no mistake, this offense was designed by Chad Morris, and Deshaun Watson was able to execute it almost to perfection, about as much as you could against Nick Saban's defense when they're very good. And there you go. Clemson wins its first national championship in more than 3 decades. Earlier today, I spoke to Chad Morris about how he felt about Clemson winning a national championship and his part in that entire process.
I was just so excited for that program and that university. What great staff. What Coach Swinney is able to do, the vision that he had and has, and it's just remarkable. I was so excited for the entire staff, all those players. So much of my time and was invested there and building on the vision of what Coach Swinney set. Obviously, the recruitment of Deshaun and being a part of his life for as long as I am. Matter of fact, I still talk just every other day. And to see him come back and to win that game in that fashion, and all those players, and that fan base, all the Tiger Nation was very special. Very excited, very much earned. They had to earn everything they got, and so I was very, very excited for them.
What were your personal emotions during the final 6 seconds of that game?
Well, I knew that when they got the ball back to Clemson for the third time in that fourth quarter, without scoring any points, with Alabama without scoring any points, I felt like this is it. There was no denying them at that point. I think the first 2 times they got the ball back, they had a sack on first down on Deshaun and they had to wind up punting. But the third time they got the ball back with the 6:16 mark, I said to myself at that point, this is over. This is fixing to be done. And it's just it's Coach Swinney said. I mean, it was destiny. It was going to happen. I think he shared with his the love of those players and that university has for their football program is remarkable. And so when obviously when they threw the pass to Hunter Renfrow, I was so pleased. I mean, just so much hard work for that staff, and what was so close a year ago and what has been building over the course of the last 5 years was remarkable. I thought it was really neat when Ben Boulware mentioned all the former players that they were a part of it, and I was texting. Matter of fact, I was texting with Sammy and Taj and DeAndre and Andre Ellington and during that game and just saying, hey guys, man, this has your fingerprints all over it. And so just excitement. I mean, I'm just so proud of what they were able to do and finish it off in the manner they did.
Again, that's SMU head football coach Chad Morris talking about Clemson's national championship earned Monday night down in Tampa, Florida at Raymond James Stadium. And maybe this is a little momentum for Chad Morris. I mean, how much more street cred does he need when you consider what he was able to do out in Clemson? But maybe it'll add a little bit more momentum during this recruiting period with signing day coming up in just a few weeks and Chad Morris entering his third year, which it seems to be word on the street that that's going to be the year where Chad Morris is really going to show what he is capable of doing with his guys in, his play design, and all that good stuff. And he has Clemson to thank, and for sure Clemson can thank Chad Morris as well. So thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day.